let's take a look at how we can use OpenAI's function calls inside fluentAI. So we're going to use a text input for the prompt, and we're going to need the OpenAI node for the function call. But the text input is going to be a bunch of JSON, so we want to convert that JSON to a JavaScript object. And we're going to make repeated calls to this OpenAI node, so let's use a condition block to check if we actually want to make that call. I've pre-built a prompt that defines two functions following OpenAI's chat completion spec for the function declarations, and let's just paste that in there. And on the prompt object, you can see that there is a functions property that defines two functions, done and getDate, and that's just the function definition. So that's not the function itself. We'll define those later. And we'll chain that together. Let's be fancy and call this prompt. Let's say convert to object and run that into condition. And we're going to say on the condition, we're going to store whether the flow is done or not on a property on the message object called, let's say, status. And if the status is running, let's do that. Then if that condition passes, we're allowed to follow through. Now let's use the user function node to actually define the functions. I'm going to start off by creating 3 of them. And the first of those is going to be a pass-through. The second will be the getDate function. And the last one will be the done function to mark the conversation as done. And let's wire that boilerplate up. And you can kind of get the gist of what we're doing because you can see that pass-through is going to just go back up there. And if the condition is still running, we're going to be in a loop. Inside the getDate function, we're going to check if the last message was a function call to the getDate function. And if it was, we're going to do a fetch to world time API. For the done function, we're going to say if the last message was a function call called done, then set status to done. And that will tell our condition to stop running because the message status will no longer be done. We're going to do the same. So if the last message was a function call and the function call had the name done, then go and set the message status to done. And you can see what happens there is that then loops back up and our status is now set to done. So status is not running and that'll fail. Okay, now let's add some previews to see what's going on, and we'll just have one here for general, and we'll call this full output. And let's use another user function to extract the actual result from there. So let's say get result. We're going to do something similar. So if the last message had content, extract the content and save it to message payload. And let's put that into another preview node. But let's set this preview node to display its contents in the node view, and let's give that a run. Okay, so we're all set up. Let's give that a run. So we can see the getDate function came back and called first, the pass-through second, and the done last. And there it's dumped our result. The current week number is 26. And the full output of the whole conversation that took place is in the full output node.